make his pants.
I know. He's never casual. He's always fucking trying too hard.
Insecurity.
Well, yes, we be trying to. I got to switch
You're super insecure.
I am insecure. Yeah,
I tried too hard.
I gotta say, Missy's been trying to get me some pants like that.
Yeah?
Yes, I have.
You want these? That's very nice.
All right, we got a little Super Bowl edition of KC Radio, joined once again by our guy Gary Vaynerchuk, and alongside him is his boy Geronimo. Gmo is on the Vayner Sports label, so you know, you guys are doing big things as always, huh?
We're trying.
No, we're doing.
You're a smart man. You are a smart man, Gmo, because if there's one dude I would, if I could ink my name down with him and his company, it would be this guy right here. You're doing big things. We're here at the Super Bowl, obviously, and I gotta ask you, Gary.
Yes.
Do you think we'll ever be here for the right reasons?
100,000%. And I actually,
Optimistic idiot.
No, and you'll appreciate this. Like, I think you know this. I'm not optimistic. You can go search 8 Jet draft picks on YouTube where
You're the guy. You're the one.
Doing the fucking result. Like, I'm not optimistic. I've cried on the announcement of a new head coach, but in this scenario, I am. I think Adam Gase is going to dominate. I do. I really do. I fully believe it.
You're crazy.
I'm not.
Gary.
You know what the best part about this is? Here's the best part. The amount of times I'm going to clip you doing that when we win a Super Bowl in your fucking mouth.
He said that. He said that so many times about me.
Guess
He
what?
said wrong
I got
every
good,
single
I got
time.
good news. I'm not this fucking dude.
We're rooting. Hey, bro, we're
You're a
rooting for the
Jets
same
fan.
thing.
You guys
I
are all
love
the
you.
fucking same.
I'm just saying, I'm not.
We're rooting for the same fucking thing. You're not me, but guess what? We're in the same fucking
I know
boat.
what boat we're in.
It's not a
I
good
know
boat.
exactly the boat we're on.
Were you, even if you were high on Gase,
Yes.
when he had that press conference, were you not like, what the fuck is going on?
Was completely unfazed. Could give
Well,
a
then
fuck
you're a
about
weirdo,
any-
too.
Could give a fuck about anything
All right,
other
before
than
the
way
press
he
conference,
coaches.
how about his time in Miami?
What about his time?
How'd he finish?
If you take into account a head coach that had his starting quarterback miss half his time in 3 years, I think he finished remarkably well. I also think if you show me a head coach that is considered a quarterback guru, that everybody wants to say, well, just Manning, and you look at his John Kitna and Brock Osweiler data, I think you'll find out that he did extremely well.
Hey, you're a stats guy now, John. You're a stats guy now.
And I think if you actually talked to human beings that played for him, and everybody who played for him last year, I think you'd have a different take. And so the reality is, somebody's going to be right and somebody's going to be wrong, and that's fine. That's
You
what's
know who's
beautiful.
usually right though? Yeah. The Patriots fans.
Now,
The
listen,
Patriots fans are almost exclusively
well,
right.
there's collateral damage where a team does something and then people jump on that to try to like drive their self-esteem. I'm thrilled that you feel good about something somebody else does.
That was like a subtweet right in person.
How to get Max Kellerman.
So for me, like I'm thrilled that Patriot fans feel like they're right on something they have nothing to do with, and that's really nice that you want to live your life like that, bro.
It's fucking. Let me tell you what, Gary. It is fantastic living
No, I
life
get
like
it.
this. It's great. This is my 3rd Super Bowl in a row. I got my post-game party passes already. I'm ready to get gassed up Sunday night. It's a solid way to live life.
Fucking hate him.
I
I hate him
totally
so much.
understand. Listen, I would love it too.
I got a question.
Please.
You're a hustler. You always talk about grind and stuff like that. So odds came out today that I am the biggest favorite to be arrested next. How much money? Let's make a deal. You put money down. You front me my money.
I'm betting the field.
You're betting the field?
Dude, somebody
But
just got arrested right now.
I'm in full
Somebody
control
just
of
got
getting
arrested.
arrested. No, the next person at bar school. So,
Oh,
right?
definitely. Yeah,
So-
I'll back you.
Okay. Let's do
Figure
it.
that's enough.
Let's go on ATM right now. I'll get arrested, no fucking problem.
But tell me about your hustle. One of the reasons that we at Vayner Sports got really about you is like kind of your college transition to where you are now. How does it go from? How do you think the difference is of a player that goes to a big time program versus one that doesn't? Like now that you've been in the league for a little while, like what's your perspective on that variable? Is that a chip on the shoulder? Is it a fundamental disadvantage? How did it work for you? Paint some context for everybody at home that doesn't know.
What it is, it's the exposure and it's the people and it's the networking that you get involved in. Going from a little school or a big school, you're
Where'd you
around.
go?
I went to Illinois. Came out of JUCO, out of junior college. So the exposure wasn't always broad, but when you have opportunities to go against people like Ohio State, Iowa, Nebraska, those are the
Penn
ones
State.
that got the exposure for the Big Ten So you take advantage of opportunities like that. So they get placed in a platform where they can excel kind of right away. Guys that have to struggle and kind of go through a little grind and a little upbringing, you find yourself in a situation where you have to understand that this is still an opportunity. Not that we're on the back burner and we have to make something out of nothing, but you still have an opportunity. But if you don't understand that and learn how to take advantage of it, you won't.
And see, that's why Chibo's a winner, because he had adversity. But you rooted for teams that always win.
You have no adversity.
No adversity.
What are you talking about? I was miserable. First of all, I'm rooting for a team right now that's an underdog.
Oh my, that's cool. Fucking
Get him,
God.
Get him! I know what they're doing, and I take the bait every time because it drives me fucking insane.
I mean, as Gino was saying,
that would even be a joke.
Gino's talking about the chip on his shoulder. I'm like, I know exactly what you mean. I'm living it right now. I got a chip on my shoulder. People put doubt in the past. I'm living it right now, man.
Patriots 2.5.
The Rams were the favorite. They've been counted out all year, just like Gmo. Come on.
You talked about surrounding yourself with the right people. What made you sign up with this idiot?
First and foremost, I didn't feel he was an idiot. But it was an opportunity and a platform for me to take advantage of. What I wanted to do was be connected with people that give me an opportunity to be around exposure. You know, like people don't know my story or understand my story or even understand me personally if they don't get a chance to be around me and see me. And so Venom Sports is killing it. Like I said, we're not doing it. We're not going to do it. We're trying to do it. We are doing it. So that exposure that Gary Vee offered me and AJ and the marketing team, like, I was like, yeah, I'm with it. Like, y'all guys want me, I want you. Let's do it.
How do you think about it? You know, it's interesting. I'm thinking about, like, you had those 1 or 2 games that you knew the country would be watching in college, right? And then I think about this last season, Monday, you know, first game Sunday night. Like, obviously AJ and I are hyped, right? And we know you're going to get some opportunities. And then, you know, back to like this whole connection. I tweet, I'm like, tonight the country's going to know what this name is. And then you have that big touchdown pass. Like, how does that, like, how do you think about those moments when you know it actually matters versus every game matters, every snap matters, there's film, everyone's watching everything. But clearly, the macro, when all of us in this room are watching, because it's the Sunday night.
I always over dramatize it so that we can get out faster.
Definitely. Yeah. So, like, as a player, I can honestly say I transitioned in turning a switch on and off. Guys that get put in like a primetime game rather than a regular game, you know how to sell in that regular game. But when you're in that primetime moment, it's primetime for a reason. All eyes are on you. So you gotta do your thing. You want to give it your all regardless at any given time. But when you're on prime time, it's like, no, if I make one little catch, one little juke move, and everybody gonna see it. Everybody's gonna see it. So that's the thing. Opportunities
also you guys with your episodes, right? Like just flat out. Like the reality is, if you know that there's a guest coming on that has a huge audience that you're gonna get a lot of new eyes on. There's a difference. Whether you know, and everybody takes it different, but there's an awareness to that's happening, and you know, and that's that.
Yeah, I mean, we plan our episodes around that. Like, all right, you know, we have this guest, we got to have our best material alongside that guest and make sure that we.
Let me just say something. I'm so happy for you guys.
All right, at least one of us, I think.
I really am. Like you guys have done a very good job.
Everyone considers that it's one person. That's cool.
It's you know, it feels 3 in a row now here. It's like the first couple Super Bowls were a little more like novelty or a big deal. Now it's just like, hey, we're gonna be here every year because it's just who we are guys.
And you're a big brand, right? It's like, you know, the first, you know, it's the same old thing, right? You come up and it's like this little thing on the side, and just now you're like the brand.
Where do you stand on Goodell?
You'll appreciate this answer. I'm not sure, and that might be the answer in itself. I haven't spent a whole lot of time.
I don't appreciate that.
You know, okay. Well, let me
be very clear.
Fine. So let me be very clear. When you have 32 billionaires and those egos as your bosses, and then on the other side you have the popularity of the fans, you are in a fucking tough spot. So what do I think? I have empathy. On the flip side, I'm a big believer of disproportionately over-communicating. So if you're asking me for a hot take of what could he have done better over the last half decade, I think feeling transparent, let alone being transparent, would be a great start. It feels too polished PR.
But he
and
says
it feels defense.
He says he is transparent, which is, I mean, that's flat out.
By the way, that's fine, and like I'm not, whatever. To me, your fucking dick-faced quarterback says you're the underdogs. Nobody believes it. So the reality is that like people are gonna say shit.
He was picked 199 in the 6th round.
He is.
That's an underdog.
I believe that. That I believe. Nonetheless, that's my read on him.
Well, would
He's
you
in a shit spot.
But like when he was saying just the other day where he was just flat out lying to the public, where at his press conference he's saying that he talked to the Saints and he talked to the players, and Michael Thomas came out right away. It's like he didn't talk to us.
I think he botched that whole Saints thing.
How can you possibly? He demands of every player. He demands that they do a press conference after every game, that they talk to the media, that they answer for what they did.
Not him.
But he doesn't. Like, shouldn't he practice what he preaches?
You got to be smart about this, right? Not him. There's a lot of issues that we don't talk about. Players care about money. Let's be right. So there's a lot of things that I've watched a lot of players do in the last 3 or 4 years where I'm like, wow, they're compromising for the dollar bill in a way that is uncomfortable to me. And so I'm not going to sit here. Like, players do press conferences because the TV contracts are paying these guys the kind of money they're getting. The exposure matters. Goodell's
But it's demanded in their contract, in the NFL contract.
They want the money. There's a lot of things demanded in their contract. They show up for fucking training. Like, to me,
that's not demanded. That's bonus.
No. Like, you're talking about mini camp, like training camp. They need to be there. So the reality is very simply like, I understand. Listen, I didn't see any of this Saints stuff, but the reality is that if he's gonna come out and say I spoke to every player, and Michael Thomas is like he didn't speak to me, that's a vulnerability. If he said I spoke to the players and he spoke to two fucking captains, then you start getting into semantics.
Right. Let me ask you, so as a player,
yes,
and you as a super fan.
Yes.
As a player and as a player. As a super fan and as a player, like if you were on the wrong side of that Saints call, I mean, I would literally never stop talking about it every single day of my life. I would do nothing but complain. I would have a podcast specifically about that every single day of my life.
Let's talk about the call.
That would be called let's talk about the Saints call.
But I would also, and I'll let you jump in a second, but I would also, if I was a Rams fan, only talk about the face mask on the drive before. Because the reality is, you can't, like, every play there's fucking penalties. I understand what happened. Emotions are high, but we need to be sure that we don't overreact and start employing some sort of rules. Or if we start reviewing subjective calls in the last 2 minutes,
I don't think you should do that.
Please God, make sure that that's not where we're going with this shit.
Would you be a part of this class action lawsuit? Loss of happiness of life?
Definitely not.
Why not?
Well, of course you would. You're a fucking patriot.
I want to sue everyone.
You think
Look, we're bribers here, Gary. We bribers. You use classes. I'm a hustle for it.
Now, you think outside sources affect your happiness?
I want to sue everybody. I want to sue the Mets, the Jets.
Outside sources.
I want to sue Dolan. I need to sue Dolan. Yeah, that's our
My inside is just
hot take as a player.
If I was
give me a real fucking take.
Like, would you go like Michael Thomas style where he just quote tweeting all the time, being like, they fucked us, they screwed us, blah blah blah. Who else? I forget. A couple other players are getting.
No, I wouldn't. Honestly, if I was on the wrong end of that call, me personally, I would want it to go my way. I would want that to be called the proper way. Yeah, honestly, that they didn't really discuss it how they should have. If they would have just made a decision and understood what just took place, I think nobody wanted that ownership of it.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody wanted to get involved.
What would you do as Vayner Sports? Let's say this call goes hit the wrong way. He's on Twitter. He's going fucking crazy. He's talking shit. He's going nuts. What do you do?
Listen. From my perspective, you got to let humans be humans. Yeah. Like obviously, you may say, "Hey, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. This is the look." But we're not in like boxing people into like this is our mandate. We're gonna let our guys be our guys and always support them with offense. Look, the reality is, I also think there's no empathy for these refs. I, as a fan who watches unlimited fucking football, when it was in real time, it did not feel as egregious as it was in the replay. That's fine. Listen, I'm telling you what I think. You tell me what you think. So this game, look, I think in the macro, we need to start thinking about, if this is going to be an issue for everybody, we need to start thinking about how many refs need to be involved, what kind of athletes should refs be. The shit's fast. It's getting real fast.
If I get like old ass man out there, it's
crazy.
crazy.
He was standing right there.
That's not the best example, but just in general, overhauling the whole system when it's like, old dudes who are either kind of like tenured in or don't have any no responsibility, no comfortability,
There's bad calls. Like,
I know that one was just so bad.
One of our best playoff runs happened because of bad calls. I mean, like the Vinny Testimony was 8 yards short of that end zone. Right? So the fucking bullshit that we had to deal with the Patriots Jets game 2 or 3 years ago with ASJ's touchdown, they somehow called a fucking touchdown.
Oh, right call.
They're shit. They're shit.
Refs never fuck up. That's a perfect call.
By the way, that stunning defeat that the Patriots took, that Brady brought up again this week because it's the one that hurts them the most, when they lost to the Jets at home after they beat us 45-3. There's a stunning bad call in that game. The first field goal we kicked was good. They called it no good. After the David Harris pick of the atrocious pass that Tom Brady made when we stunned the Patriots in their mouth, in their house, in Foxborough. And after we won, I spit on that fucking stadium with my saliva for 20 fucking minutes while I watched everybody leave that stadium.
I've won 2 Super Bowls since then.
I believe you almost tried to fight a child that night too. Or was that Pittsburgh?
No, that was way earlier.
Where are we on the quest to buy the Jets? We got a little savings account that you make a monthly transfer into.
I'm putting it all in. There's only one way I can pull off this thing. I got to put it all back in to the system and keep churning it, and then
give me a year.
I genuinely believe I can buy them in 20 to 25 years. I really believe it.
I might be dead by then.
It's crazy. It's crazy that I'm sitting here and he said that, because one of our first conversations, we talked about investing and stuff. He told me straight up, I'm not the one you want to talk with as far as investing, because I'm going to put all my chips in the basket, talk to my brother AJ. So for him to say he will put it all in with the Jets, I believe him.
By the way, that was a big factor in Vader's. But like for me, what's been so great, even just like it's unbelievable how much more I know. And I was a super fan. It was my life. That's my family. Like the New York Jets is it then business. Like, and just now being on the inside, the empathy. This is what I always love. And this is back to like all of what we were kind of talking about. Like when you have empathy for the other party, getting this close to the player side. And look, I'm a loudmouth. I'm a force. When not only do I plan on buying the Jets, I plan on winning Super Bowls, but more importantly, I plan on being a fundamentally important owner. And I think that what at that point it will take is to have the league be disproportionately player friendly, because I think that's your asset. In the same way that I run my companies, I'm employee friendly because it's the asset. And so I'm excited about some of those nuances as well.
What are your thoughts on Brody Van Wagenen going from agent to GM over in the Mets? You a baseball guy at all?
I grew up a huge baseball guy, but then the Yankees won in '96. Charlie Hayes catches the ball and I'm out. And so I was a Jersey '80s kid, so I was a mix. I know that.
Your whole thing is like once they win, you're out, right? Some shit like that.
That's right. So I'm just Jets mixed now, because the Rangers and Yankees won.
You jump off winning bandwagon.
That's right.
You're
I'm an actual winner in life.
Okay. That was really fucking mean to look at.
That's why I look you directly in the face.
You're my soul. All right, bro.
I'm so bitter. I'm such a happy human, but when I come into contact, I'm so bitter being here, looking at all the happiness from all these Patriot fans. Anyway, nonetheless, I think it's cool, and honestly, like. Obviously we saw it happen on the Lakers front. Like it's something in the air, and I do think about like, is anybody at VaynerSports ever going to make that transition? Like it's cool. You can say, I mean, you could be a fucking GM, right? NFL Network to be a GM. Like it's interesting that you're starting to see different paths, which I'm sure is inspiring a lot of young men and women on. Wait, I might be able to take an untraditional path, because there are so many people out there that dream about running an organization. So that's cool.
Actually make it happen.
Everyone believes you can do it.
Yeah, everybody believes
Everyone's
it.
like,
It's like, all right, prove it now. Now you
It's
fucking, the opportunity can be there.
What do you think about it? You're nervous or excited?
I mean, I'm always nervous about it. I think that there definitely is some weird conflict of interest shit going on. I will always assume the worst and expect the worst, and I think that he's made a couple moves, but the one big move he needs to make is staring him in the face, and he's not making it. And I think that means he's just a puppet for the owners once again, like everyone before.
Was that Machado?
Yeah, Machado or Harper. I mean, he made all the right moves to build like the foundation. They need a big primetime player, either in the outfield or in the infield. Both of them are available. He should be making the move, and he's not. So that tells me that the owners are still pulling the strings, and he's just a puppet.
Well, owners pull the strings in almost every situation. There's
Of
a
course,
bunch-
but they're very
a bunch.
metal. The Wilpons are always fucking involved, little weasels. They just get involved when they shouldn't be. And that's just never gonna change. Can you buy the Mets too?
I definitely have no interest in that franchise.
Just for me. I'll run
The
it.
Knicks,
You buy
the
it.
Knicks
We'll
are
go.
my backup plan.
We'll go
But
like
the NBA exploded.
we'll go in
Those
and
are
together on it. We'll do like you go 99, I'll go 1, and we'll
Can
figure
you
it
step
out.
up for the one?
We got like .01.
I gotta go to this Vader Sports event. We're doing
All right,
a
fellas.
bunch
We
of our
appreciate
guys.
you coming through. Thanks,
All right.
Robin.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Congrats. Hope you enjoy the weekend.
We gotta roll right now.
Can I do 1 minute video, bro?